Imagine a sunny autumn day, November 22, 1963. The city of Dallas, Texas was buzzing. Thousands of people gathered in the streets waving and cheering. At the center of all this euphoria, in an open car, was the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. Young, charismatic, a symbol of a new era of hope and change. No one could imagine that in a few moments that day would be eternalized not by joy, but by one of the most shocking and devastating acts in world history. If you are fascinated by moments that change the course of history, by tragedies that left indelible marks, and by mysteries that defy understanding, then you are in the right place. Like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our journeys into the secrets of the past, and share it with someone who also has an interest in these historical enigmas. Now, turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare to relive the minutes that changed the 20th century, the assassination of JFK. John F. Kennedy, or JFK as he was known, had arrived at the presidency with an aura of Camelot, of an idealistic and promising kingdom. His government, though short, was marked by moments of great tension and challenges, such as the Cuban Missile Crisis and the growing escalation in the Vietnam War. However, he represented a new type of politics, young, articulate, and full of vigor, which inspired a nation. In November 1963, Kennedy embarked on a political trip to Texas, a crucial state for his re-election in 1964. One of the objectives was to try to unify the political factions of the Democratic Party in the state. The agenda included a luncheon in Dallas. The city was not an easy place for Kennedy, with strong conservative sentiments and even hostility towards his policies. Nevertheless, the decision was made to stick to the itinerary. At 11:35 a.m., the presidential motorcade arrived in Dallas. President JFK and his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, paraded in a convertible Lincoln Continental limousine, accompanied by Texas Governor John Connally and his wife. The streets were crowded. Vibrant multitudes waved, threw flowers. The sun was shining. The atmosphere was one of celebration and admiration. The motorcade moved slowly, allowing the public to see the young and popular president up close. The limousine approached Dealey Plaza, a place that would become infamous in American history. To the right, the Texas School Book Depository, a 7-story building. To the left, a small grassy knoll. It was 12:30 p.m. local time. The limousine made a left turn onto Elm Street. The applause still echoed. It was then that the unthinkable happened. A first shot. The sound for many was confused with a firecracker or a car backfiring. President Kennedy seemed to lean forward, then to the left. A second shot resonated, this one unmistakable. Jacqueline Kennedy, sitting next to her husband, looked at him, at the horror unfolding. Governor Connally, in front, was gravely wounded, and then the third and fatal shot. This one struck Kennedy's head with a devastating and unmistakable impact. Panic erupted, screams, confusion. The limousine sped towards Parkland Hospital. Security reacted. Jacqueline Kennedy, in shock, tried to move towards the back of the car, apparently searching for a piece of her husband's skull. Chaos took over Dealey Plaza. People ran in all directions, some looking for where the shots came from, others taking cover, still not understanding the magnitude of what had just happened. At Parkland Hospital, doctors did what they could, but it was too late. At 1 p.m., President John F. Kennedy was pronounced dead. The news spread around the world in minutes, paralyzing nations, causing tears and disbelief. An era of hope had been brutally cut short. The nation's shock was palpable. Less than 2 hours after the assassination, a suspect was apprehended. Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with a troubled history and ties to Marxism, was located at the Texas School Book Depository, where he worked. Initial evidence seemed to link him to the crime. An Italian-made rifle with a telescopic sight wrapped in a blanket was found on the 6th floor of the building, and Oswald had fled the scene shortly after the shots, acting evasively. To further complicate the situation and add more layers to this tragedy, about 45 minutes after Kennedy's assassination, Dallas police officer J.D. Tippit was shot dead in the street. Oswald was quickly identified and arrested in a nearby movie theater after attempting to resist arrest. Interrogated, Oswald vehemently denied any involvement, claiming to be just a patsy, a puppet in a larger game. He claimed innocence and demanded legal representation. However, before he could be tried and formally deposed, a new and shocking event unfolded, live on television for the entire world to see. On November 24, 1963, 2 days after Kennedy's assassination, Lee Harvey Oswald was shot at point-blank range. His assailant was Jack Ruby, a local nightclub owner with known ties to organized crime in Dallas. Oswald's death, broadcast to millions of people in a moment of national hysteria, not only deepened the mystery of what had truly happened, but also sowed the seeds for decades of conspiracy theories, as the only person who could clarify the facts was silenced forever. The death of Oswald, the sole suspect and central figure for resolving the case, meant that many crucial questions would never have direct answers in a courtroom. To try to calm the nation and provide an official response, President Lyndon B. Johnson, who had been sworn in aboard Air Force One hours after Kennedy's death, established the Warren Commission. In September 1964, after months of investigation, the Warren Commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. According to the report, he fired the 3 fatal shots from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. They also concluded that Jack Ruby acted alone in killing Oswald. The report presented the controversial single bullet theory, or magic bullet, stating that a single projectile caused all the non-fatal wounds to Kennedy and all the wounds to Governor Connally. This theory, based on a nearly intact projectile found at the hospital, became one of the most criticized and disputed points of the report. However, the official explanation never convinced a large part of the American and global public. The hurried investigation, the lack of transparency in some documents, and the perceived inconsistencies led to the emergence of dozens, if not hundreds, of conspiracy theories. Some believe the mafia was involved, perhaps in retaliation for the harsh crackdown on organized crime led by Attorney General Robert Kennedy, the president's brother. Others point to the CIA, which Kennedy allegedly tried to shatter into 1,000 pieces after the Bay of Pigs fiasco. Anti-Castro Cuban exiles, military or arms industry sectors, or even the Secret Service itself, were all cited as possible conspirators. Oswald's role for many was not that of a lone assassin, but of a patsy, a scapegoat for a much larger plot. The persistence of these doubts led to the creation of another major government investigation years later. In 1976, the House Select Committee on Assassinations, HSCA, re-examined the case. In 1979, the HSCA concluded that Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy. Although it could not identify the conspirators, the committee believed that multiple shooters were involved, based on acoustic evidence suggesting more than 3 shots, coming from different directions, including from the grassy knoll. This conclusion, which contradicted the Warren Commission, only deepened the chasm between the official version and public belief. The evidence is complex, often contradictory, and the gradual release of classified documents over the decades has only added more pieces to a puzzle that seems impossible to fully assemble. The lack of consensus, the absence of a final and undeniable culprit, is what keeps the JFK case as a mystery that haunts American history. The assassination of John F. Kennedy is an indelible landmark in the history of the United States and the world. It abruptly ended a period of optimism and idealism known as Camelot, plunging the nation into deep mourning and an era of questioning and distrust that continues to this day. The images of that day, the open car, the First Lady in pink, the desperate rush to the hospital, are etched into the collective memory of generations. JFK is remembered as an inspiring leader, a visionary, but his death is a grim reminder of how the fragility of life and the destiny of a nation can be altered in a matter of seconds. The questions continue to echo. Who really killed JFK? Was there a larger conspiracy involving government agencies, organized crime, or other hidden powers? Is the truth still out there, waiting to be discovered by a new perspective or by documents that have not yet been fully revealed? The search for answers continues, fueling the curiosity and skepticism of millions. And you, what do you think about the assassination of John F. Kennedy? Do you believe in the official version of the Warren Commission? What is your opinion on the impact of this crime on history and on how America sees itself? Leave your comment below. We are eager to know what this mystery means to you and what your theory is. If this account made you think, moved you, and prompted you to seek more answers, please like this video. Your interaction helps us continue to bring more stories and mysteries like this to our community. Share it with your friends and family who also have an interest in crimes that marked history. And of course, if you are not yet part of our community, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to not miss the next chapters of this journey into the unknown. See you in the next mystery. Until then.